One good thing about going back to school was all the new school supplies you could get. Well, let's look at probably the weirdest back to school item that at least I could think of. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's the Junkman coming back at you with another video. And today, we're going to talk about ass. Big ass. Not just asses. Oh, excuse me. Let me just say this might not be a safe for work video. I'm going to say the E word a lot. Ass. So we've got any small kids around that don't know what an ass is, or you got small kids that act like an ass, you might not want to watch this video because we're going to talk about a lot of ass. That's right. For some reason, this company, Class Act, who also made a answering machine for your school locker, my aunt bought me that. It was so. I was like, can you imagine putting this? I didn't put it up in school. Can you imagine taking a tape player, you hook it up in your locker with a speaker, and it's supposed to be like an answering machine for your locker? Do you know what kind of messages I would have got on that thing? Anyway, let's get back. This was, I call them folders, but they were binders. Is there really a difference here? And it was made by Class Act, and it was just a picture of a big, beautiful ass on it. Big, beautiful ass. Now, I don't know about you. I like big butts. I cannot lie. Okay? But something about kids buying these, going back to school. Now, I can remember probably around 87, 88, walking into my local Toys R Us. Still remember the section, back to school section was. They had a bunch of notebooks and stuff. And that's when I saw these folders. And boy, did I want them. I can remember I was with this other guy at the time. We were looking through it, trying to really determine, is that a boy ass or is that a girl ass? You know, you didn't want to buy a boy ass and end up taking it to school. I mean, today they probably would give you a medal or something, but back then you didn't want that getting out. Again, I'm not judging anyone that likes boy ass. I'm just saying it was a different time. It was a different time. People just couldn't be themselves. It wasn't a good time. I know I love the 80s and everything, but there was some bad things about the 80s, right? You get bullied for almost anything. Toys you brought to school, asses you like to look at. Anyway, so we would look through this and make sure we didn't bring any boy ass to school, because it wasn't, you couldn't see a face, you couldn't see nothing. It was very late 80s looking shirts. Usually had a notebook, some school paper coming out of the back pocket, which told me, I mean, it could have been a college ass, but to me it meant it was a teen ass. So you could buy teen asses and take them to school. But I can remember picking up this one folder, looking at it, tight jeans on, and I was like, whew, Mel McDaniels was right. Baby's got her blue jeans on. Whew. But there I was, looking at asses. So I can remember picking up a couple of these for myself, my friend getting a couple of them. In fact, we had this girl, I think her name was, Charlotte. Charlotte, I shouldn't say her name, but I did, Charlotte. She was known, how can I put this? Charlotte was how can I put this in a friendly way? Charlotte was a free spirit. Charlotte was the girl that always wanted to have some fun. I think you get what I'm talking about. And she bought a couple of folders with asses on it, and she got the men ass, of course. You know, if she got a girl ass, well, nobody would probably. People would probably like that. It was. We were different in the 80s. I don't know how it is now. If a girl said she liked a girl ass, we would be like, I understand where you're coming from. But if a boy said he liked a boy ass, we'll say, what are you? Some kind of. Again, I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying that's how it was. Okay, we judge people. But I will say this, I knew a guy that did like boy. Well, he didn't like just boy ass. He liked boy penises too. And, you know, yeah, we teased him. We ragged on him. But he teased us and ragged on us about stuff we liked. And we were friends with him. You know. But it was a different time. We would razz people for any little small thing we could. I mean, I stuttered. I still stutter. So, you know, I got ragged on. But at least I didn't get ragged on for looking at assholes. Anyway, so I got these folders, man, with big asses on them. And they were all white people asses. There was no big, juicy black ass. No, and that would have been good, because my school, the school I went to at this time was high school. And my school was probably about 96, 97% black, African American, whatever the PC thing is to call them nowadays, and crackers. The other, like 4% crackers, honkies, whatever you call them nowadays. I don't know, the W word. So if some big old beautiful black asses would have been an ass of a red bone. Now, I know a friend. I had a friend in school. He loved a red bone. Can I say red bone? Can I say red bone? Is that not PC? Can I say he loved them? So it's not saying anything bad about a red bone. I don't know. He liked a red bone. I mean, I knew guys that like red bones. I know guys that like honey dips. I knew guys that liked really dark girls. I knew a guy that was really into albino girls. His dream was to meet an albino girl. There was no albino ass on this photo that I know of. I mean, they had blue jeans on. I couldn't see the pigment of their ass. Who knows? They could have been really white asses under those jeans. I'm not sure. All I know is I saw some beautiful asses at Toys R Us. And let's be honest, we've seen some beautiful asses at Toys R Us. Not just on a school folder, but, walk down the Barbie aisle. You might see some beautiful asses. Talking about the moms here, okay? Not that goofy. But I was just amazed at why I did this video. Like, why are you doing a video at school for? For the longest time, I could not figure out what these things were. I had them in my head, and anyone I asked would look at me like I was stupid. I said, "Do you remember these folders that had pictures of asses on them?" And it's like, "What are you talking? What are you getting them out of a Penthouse Forum or something? What are you talking about?" I was like, "No, Toys." And it's like, "No, Toys us didn't carry big asses in a folder." And me and my buddy Russ was on live stream, and I asked him, and he kind of like, kind of know what you're talking about. I'm not sure. Then somebody in the chat room said, "Hey, they class act." They told me what they were, and I Googled it. There it was. And I was trying to find them before that. For years, I would go into Google and type, "big ass back to school." Wouldn't never get me a folder. Big ass folder. It would never. So what would you put in these big ass folder? Well, you take them to school, and I guess you could draw, put your schoolwork in the folder like anything else. But it was a big ass, so it'd be nice if you could put other things in it. Dirty letters might have been a good thing to put in them. I don't know. You could have put something in it, ass related, probably. Maybe you could have a running list of all the asses you saw at school. The pros and cons of each ass you saw, of every girl or boy in your class. You could say, "Oh, there's Trisha. She has a round almond-shaped ass. I like that." Or you don't like that. There's Billy Cunnings. He has a mole-shaped ass. I like that. I don't like that. You could say, "There's Rebecca Stevens. She's got a big fat ass, but not in that good way. We're talking about that satellite. What's it called? Cellulite. Like you've been sitting on asphalt all day. That's not a good big ass. At least not for me." Now, they only did big asses. I don't know why they didn't put big breast or big. They could have done for men. They could have had a big bulge on the front. That would have been, somebody would have might like that, or maybe a big muff, some tight blue jeans on. You got your big muff showing, or you got your big sack showing. That would have been good. Oh my God, I'm getting demonetized for this one. That's for sure. But big asses. Now again, they were white people asses, so they wasn't. They were nice asses. Don't get me wrong, but. There was a lot of, let's be honest. I know some people say, "Hey, there's nothing different between a white person and a black person." Yeah, there is. There's not all of them, but for the most case, you had the black girl butts and you had the white girl butts. And, again, I went to school that was mostly all black people. Did have a Puerto Rican there. Now that Puerto Rican had a big round, looked like it was made out of jelly or something. Oh. Abel, that was his name. Abel. He had a big, juicy ass. But wasn't what I was into. But people would tell me how juicy it looked. Now, I would agree with them. I was like, I'm not into it. Ain't it weird that we even like to look at asses? We look at something that like to produce dookie. I don't know about that dookie. Anyway, I'm just glad I finally figured out what these was. Maybe you seen them. Maybe you had them. Maybe you was like, "Hey, Junkman, that's the ass I had." Or maybe you were just an ass. Who knows? How many times can I say ass? Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. You tell me if you had these ass folders. And if you did, what did you put in your ass folder? What did you put in your ass folder? I have to know. You have an ass. You have a folder. You have stuff to put in it. What did you put in your ass folder is what I want to know. Thank you for watching.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.